exactly. Okay, I just hit record.
Okay.
Yeah, I know. It's so crazy. I just remember getting on Facebook, and I think I surprised every single one of my friends and family members. They're like, "You're not a social media girl." I didn't know anything about using social media, but I found this little workout that I fell in love with and joined this community. And now that's how I make money, just by sharing what I know and love with people like you and everybody else who is joining us. It's really been such a blessing for me, and I know it has for you too.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, what started for me and just like you was wanting to get fit and healthy. And, I think that was the initial goal, obviously, and the outcome, and it's a lifestyle. It's like we didn't stop doing that part of it, but what that did was it just changed our whole mindset into knowing if we put our minds to something. I lost 70 pounds, and if we put our minds to something, we were able to do it. And what happened was the confidence and the belief. And also, from the people that I coached, really realizing the need, not just to help people with fitness, but to help empower them to change their lives. There was so many ways to do that. So, that's kind of what Charity and I are going to be talking today is, the whole point of how do you do that? How do you have a business on Facebook or social media? And sorry, I'm fixing my camera a little bit here. It's a little slow.
Mine's like my tripod is.
It's being weird. So
this is
how do you develop that and stand out from other businesses? And there's lots of, we're Beachbody coaches, and that's okay, I'll keep talking. There's lots of other coaches, there's lots of people doing online businesses and lots of things. So how do you stand out to people? How do you find the right people to talk to? And really what that comes down to, what we're talking about today, is your brand and who you are. And that's the type of people that you're going to attract, that you want to attract. And I think sometimes we call it attraction marketing. It isn't getting on Facebook and saying, buy my stuff, go to my link and go buy this, because they could go buy it from anywhere. And the reason that they're doing that is because, you guys have heard our story. And if you haven't, you can go back through our videos and catch our weekly episodes. But really, that's how Charity and I met, because we were like-minded people. And the funniest thing with Charity and I is the fact that our stories came together so super, super parallel, and kind of in situations in our life, relationships, and brand new moms, and obviously struggling to get healthy and find herself. And we had a wanting to be better, right?
Yeah. I mean, I know we wouldn't have met if we hadn't both gone on this journey right about the same time. You were just a few months ahead of me, but really just deciding that we wanted to make a change and raise the bar on the expectations for our life and for our futures. And of course, our kids too, because I know I was very depressed, feeling alone, isolated, living in the middle of nowhere. And I just needed more. And I felt like, I have this brand new baby girl, and she deserved to see a happy, healthy, and successful mom. And it was up to me. I couldn't depend on somebody else to change my life for me. I had to make that decision.
Right. I think it was like we talked about it on one of our episodes, was like having that aha moment of, okay, these excuses are excuses. And for years I believed my excuses, and it was just making that final decision to be all who I was and not be afraid to share it. I think that is the key to your brand, is not being afraid to be who you are and share with people, because obviously that's how Charity and I connected, and we had some pretty serious conversations, and she realized, like, hey, that girl's like me, she's going where I want to go. And and I don't have guys that want to get be body beasts that I attract. I don't attract that kind of person. So my niche is people like me, like Charity, people who are moms. And it's not just where I started, but it's also where and who I am now. It's that whole journey of who I am.
Exactly. And
Charity's having a ponytail.
I know. Her roommate just broke again, but that's okay. I'm not gonna go crazy. crazy. It's like bed
Oh, that's good. That's good.
unplugged. And I had to close my window because my gardeners just showed up right as I pressed.
Hey, that is the life of working at home, because I know that's how it happens, but that's okay. That's what we do. We roll with it, and it's part of life. And that's another, good point to make too, is it's real life. We don't get on here and have some, crazy editing and go and, I'm sitting here in the pants I slept in, and this is my brand new shirt, just so you guys know. I have to show you.
I love it.
There'll be some giveaways, in the future. We've been talking this morning about that. So let's, what kind of key points can you tell us about branding, Charity?
Okay. The first thing is that if you're trying to figure out what your brand is, you got to kind of look in the mirror and say, who am I? What do I believe in? What have I overcome? What am I doing now? Like, pretty much your brand is you, your life, your story. You can't be anybody else's brand. Nobody will be anything like you. Hillary is a lot like me. I'm a lot like Hillary, and we, share a lot of similarities, but we're not the same person. Of course, we attracted each other because we have like almost exactly the same lives. And I think, starting from the beginning that, you attract who you are to your business. And that really is your brand, who you are, where you've been. You don't need to be an expert. You don't need to be like licensed whatever or certified whatever or a perfect size. You just have to realize that if you're doing business on social media, you just have to come from the mindset of wanting to share your story. Nobody else could be you. That's a beautiful thing.
Well, that's a good thing. And, I know Gary Vee talks, and I reference Gary Vee all the time, but the guy is a genius, and just for the fact of, it's very true. He speaks, common sense. It's like, if you're, wanting to do business, and the reason people go to Amazon and they buy stuff is they look at the reviews. They're not because they saw a commercial, not because it's because they've related to a brand, and they are looking. I always look at the reviews, and if the product says it's great, but the reviews say it's horrible, I'm going to go with what the people say. And that's kind of, the same idea of having, what is it, Flow with Progressive or whatever it is. Yeah. They put a face on that brand that you can relate to, and it makes it more lovable. And for you as a brand, no matter what business you're doing, if you become a boss bitch and join our team, or a girl boss and, join our teams, this is what we talk about, and helping you to develop your avatar, your niche. And really, it's so simple that it comes from you. But I think a lot of people can't get past, and I know a lot of, people that I work with, they often struggle with being themselves, and they're afraid of what people think. And I think sometimes a lot of women, and I think I was that way, but through a lot of personal development, but also putting myself out there, I realized people weren't judging me, and the people that were like Charity that, were inspired because she had the same story. She had the same wants. She had the same struggle. And because I shared that, we made that connection together. And, and I know that's the biggest fear people have, is worried about what other people think. And honestly, you guys, there are billions of people on social media, and it's not just your friends and family, because your friends and family, yeah, they might judge you, and that's normal. And even when I started, and I know when Charity started, people looked at us all the time, especially the people closest to us, like, yeah, okay, what's this fun thing she's doing and putting all this time into? And 7 years later, they can all come to me and go, what? What? She really did do it. And she really, it takes that time. But I wasn't talking to my friends and family. That's why I was on Facebook. I realized very quickly that I could reach. Charity's in California, and I was in Connecticut at the time. So that right there showed you the reach that I have that is not my friends and family. And yeah, they may come along for the ride at some point, and some of them raise their hands, but I'm looking for people like me and like Charity, and people that have had the same struggles I've had, that have the same struggles I have, that have the same wants and desires, and they want to get rid of their excuses and change their lives. That's who I'm looking for. And if they don't like me, they can get out of my car. That's just is what it is.
Exactly. And I love that you just said that, because as women, I think our natural tendency is to be a people pleaser.
I was.
Yeah, and I know that I have been too, and I think that owning your life and being a girl boss, it comes with having to raise the bar and be like, people might like me, they might not, but I don't really care, because I am who I am and I'm not ashamed of it. Actually, I'm going to share this quote a little bit later. I found this picture and it was like, I'm not ashamed of the parts of my life, because it's all part of what, made me who I am today. And getting out of the people pleasing mindset, I think it comes with age, especially now that we're both in our 40s. Oh my gosh, 41. But really just stopping caring what everybody else says, thinks, or does, because first of all, they aren't paying your bills. And second of all, I know that you and I both share this, and I don't know if this is like a unique thing to us or other people have it too, but the more people say, oh, sure, yeah, right, that makes me want to push harder, go bigger, like prove them wrong.
That's the girl boss bitch mindset right there, is when you can shift your thinking to, oh my God, what is everybody going to think? Like, you want these things so bad. And I know I talk to women all the time. I talk to women who, I want to change my life and I want to have a better life for my kids and I want to do this. But when it comes down to it, what stops them is being afraid to be who they are. And and I know there's living when you don't care what people think is so much more freedom, is so much more happiness. And I can wake up every day and, I can do what I want and I can work from home and I can talk to you people and it's free, and even, talking to you guys here on Facebook, the people that I talk to are people like me. So it gives me, I feel more empowered to share myself. And, when I have anxiety, it's real. We all have it. The things that I struggle with, we all have it. And it's not embarrassing. And I'm surprised because I did do a video about it and you guys can look at it on my like page. But it was a day I was having a rough day with anxiety and I just got on Facebook Live and I shared. And the outpouring of, messages that I did get from people was pretty awesome because it was like, I have that too, and they were surprised that somebody else was sharing it, but it was actually kind of freeing because it's become a conversation that I've had openly and actually helped people just because I shared, what I do with it when I struggle with it,
Exactly. And I think that, at first, when you are developing your brand, you just really have to think about, like, I am going to help somebody by sharing this, even though I am scared to death to share. And my gardener's right on my porch, so sorry about all the noise. Anyway, just realizing that you will share your story and help change people's lives. That they are watching you and they are taking note. They might not be liking and commenting on your post, but they are watching. And the more that you can share your heart and soul with people, the more you develop those relationships and trust begins. Because when I first met you, Hillary, you found me on Facebook, and it took me a while to like jump on board with you. I think it was maybe a month or two. But it takes a while to develop those relationships, and the more authentic and real and like coming from a place of sharing and wanting to help people, even if it makes you nervous, that is what is going to build your brand and build your tribe.
Yeah, because that's what you want. You want people like you, and the best part about it is I have people like Charity that have come along on this journey with me. And when we thought we would never ever meet each other, like for real, because she lived in California and I couldn't afford a plane ticket, has turned into countless trips all over the country and even outside the country as well. And we've done some adventures, we've done work trips, and, it's turned into you get to hang out with your friends and do business partners with people that are like you. And I can tell you, even my customers, the people that I'm talking to who join my challenge groups, my fitness groups, because that's where I start everybody at, and Charity does too. They're like me. We have so much fun. Like, I love Giphies and Bitmojis. Charity does. Like, we have whole conversations in Giphies and Bitmojis. And my challengers, they're the same way. So it's fun. It's not like work. Like, you get to help people and empower people that are like you, and they become your friends. They become like your family. And I think really this business for me and this lifestyle, when I started, I never imagined the relationships that I would have from people, because I wasn't real big, back then about being out and talking to people or finding friends, because it was always drama. And I found my tribe on Facebook. That's the crazy thing. But I wasn't afraid to be open,
Yeah. Well, and I think that the being afraid to be open is a complaint that most people, we start out in our business and coach them to success, is that they're afraid to be who they are and share their real life struggles. And it's scary. I still sometimes share things that make me really nervous, and I think, gosh, it's going to be, what if they judge me, or what if they don't like me? But I've come to realize that whenever I have that feeling of, oh my gosh,
that's when you need to do it.
Yeah, you have to do it. There's no way around it. That feeling has to get to be so familiar and so comfortable, because that when you share those things, that is when your tribe will grow, and that is when your business will grow, and everything else. Because, without your story, without sharing that,
it's hollow. Yeah, it's boring. It's boring. And you guys know from going to Facebook pages or groups, and if there's, maybe they're just posting quotes and pictures. I mean, yeah, you might like the picture or the quote, but why are you going to go back to that person? And why are you going to keep looking for that person? Because you relate to them. And the people that I love to follow, I go to their page all the time and I check it, because I relate to them and I can't wait to see more, of what they're going to share with me. And, if that's the one struggle that I think, number one struggle that, the people that we work with have, and it's really overcoming the thought and the fear. And sometimes people are shy, I get that, but you have to overcome that fear. If you want to step outside the box and you want to be a girl boss, you have to own that fear and you have to share. But what you're going to find is that it's going to be embraced by people, because your business and what you're doing is going to grow by the amount of people that you help, without expecting anything in return. It's not about buying my stuff. It's about, I'm looking to empower women, and I have ways that I do that. That's my system. That's my business.
Exactly. And yeah, I just love that you said that, because it's taken a while for both of us to develop our system. And because when we first started out on Facebook sharing, it was just all about us sharing, and we didn't have live streams, and we didn't have trainings to help us learn and grow and share with other people. But now, we have been in business successfully for 7 years, helping people change their lives and developing this like huge movement. And my team is called The Revolution. We are change makers, and all started because I took the courage to accept Hillary's friend request, and I decided to raise the bar on my life and not accept mediocre.
Yeah, and so many people sit for years wallowing, that they complain about their life, they don't like their job, and their friends, they're full of drama, and that's what you keep encountering. But the whole thing is, we go back to that, law of attraction, and you get what you put out there. And if you're negative and you're uninspiring, those are the people you're going to get. And if you're shy and you're, making excuses and not owning and being that girl boss mindset, I'm going to say, then that's what you're going to get in return. You know, or you're going to get crickets. Nobody's going to want to see it. Or, you know, one day you're trying to be inspiring and then the next day you're complaining about how much your life sucks, or your boyfriend pissed you off, or, you know, something like that. Or, you know, you wake up one day sad, or you had a fight with your, and all you see are quotes about how, you know those quotes you see, you know, you can read, you're like, oh boy, she must have broke up with her boyfriend, so I guess that's it. Those kinds of things, you know, are what is about your brand. And you want people to see your face. You want people to get to know you. And I think I forgot to mention my Gary Vee point because I got off on a tangent again. But he said the best way to success is to document your journey, document your story, share your story. And I know the reason I love Gary Vee is because he is Gary Vee. He is who he is, and he is not afraid to show it. He's not, he likes to say the word fuck a lot, you know what I mean? And you know, disclaimer, but that's who he is. And if that's what, you know, who you are, there is room, and there are people that enjoy that too. You know, that it's kind of like that no BS talk, which I love, that I relate to. And it's another reason I love Darren Hardy too. He's one of my favorites as well.
Yeah, I absolutely love both of them. And just something that I've really, really tried to do recently is really just sharing my heart and sharing my soul on Facebook, on social media, but not like oh, my life really sucks. Is you got to find that silver lining and share that strength, that or that lesson that you're learning or you have learned with social media. Because I don't know about you, I see all those complaints on Facebook, and okay, I've hidden a lot of people on Facebook, if not unfriended them, because I'm just tired of it. I don't have time for that. The world is already negative enough. I don't need to see your complaints on Facebook.
My camera moved again, I guess. But yeah, that's the reason why I unfollow people. And that's the reason why I don't watch the news, and I don't put negative things in my mind, because that's who I get my news on Facebook. If it's really that important, you know, you're going to see it in your feed. So that's fine, you know, if it's something I need to know about. But I don't actively go searching for that information, because I think I would rather keep a positive mindset and, you know, be real. You know, I mean, it's law of attraction. You know, you attract who you are and what your mindset is. And if your friends, 5 of your friends are all full of drama, you need to get rid of those friends. Otherwise, you're going to have drama all your life, you know?
Yeah. What is that quote? I'm not sure if it was Jim Rohn that says it or Zig Ziglar, but like, the people who are closest to you are who you are. And so you and I, we both follow what Darren Hardy teaches, and we don't watch the news. We're very careful, and we protect our, you know, our bubble. Like, I like to say I'm in a bubble. I don't watch the news. I don't watch TV. I'm very careful who I spend my time with. Yeah, my social media bubble, but I'm very careful who I spend my time with, because I don't have time to get into a negative mindset. And, you know, it's my mind, it's my attitude that are my livelihood, because really it's not just about our workouts. It's not about just our shake. It's about the lifestyle. And, you know, to be successful in this business, you got to rise above everybody else and share what you're doing, what you're learning. Like, I love sharing, you know, quotes from my book and what I'm learning, and doing with that, and just sharing whatever lesson I'm learning. And, you know, I don't complain on Facebook. That really is probably the biggest thing that I want to tell everybody who's watching us today, is that you gotta raise the bar. You can't be hanging out with those people, you know, who are trying to bring you down. Some of those people are your family members, and, you know, maybe you need to just limit your time with them, and, you know, spend a lot more time reprogramming your mind, listening to audiobooks, watching great videos on social media, and just really, you know, working on the mindset.
Feed yourself with something positive. You know, it's really like you, I love that you said that, because I have to be inspired to inspire others. And if I'm not surrounding myself with those kinds of people, or that kind of information, or that kind of environment, like my bubble, you know, and I'm not going to be inspiring, and I'm useless to other people. And my job is to inspire people, and it keeps me accountable to it as well, which is another reason I love what we do, because my Facebook is my Facebook timeline is who I am. And I know a lot of people that I look at their Facebook and I'm like, who are they? Their life is, this is perfect, or this sucks, or you don't really know who they are, and they may not even be doing a business, but just in general, like, why am I following you, I think in terms of a business, a brand, a person, the reason I follow certain people is because I relate to them. And we're always branding ourselves. We're always marketing ourselves, whether you're running a business or not. You're marketing yourself all the time, who you are, when you go to the grocery store, when you go through the bank. And, I know, the fun part about what we do is that we don't have a business suit, right? There's some days, like, I'm probably going to work out and wear my tank top. So this is what I'm wearing today. Or it could be a presentation and I want to dress up for it, or we have an event to go to. There is no set uniform. There is no set mold to what we do. It's based on what we feel and what, and that's pretty freeing too. And that's who we are. There is no, I don't want to be like everybody else either,
No, and I think that's the most important thing that people need to realize is that if you're trying to be somebody else, if you're not really sharing who you are, what you believe in, people won't know, and you're just going to have a whole bunch of people joining you who are perfect, like the person you've been trying to copy. I see a lot of people on Facebook sharing the same posts and the same verbiage that maybe their upline shared, or making the generic post about the workout and join my group. But really, they're not sharing like why they should. Like, I've been doing this workout and it changed my entire life. I feel confident when I put my jeans on instead of having this muffin top and having to lay down to put my jeans on. Like, are you going to join because somebody shared a perfect picture? Or are you going to join because somebody understands your struggle and zipping up your jeans?
Well, and that's the true thing, is that it is a struggle. And if you're afraid to share the struggle, you're missing out on, honestly talking to what people feel. Everybody feels that, I mean, I even did that yesterday. I put on, I always say, put on your favorite pair of jeans at least once a week, because that'll let you know. I don't use the scale, so that'll always let you know when you've overdone it. And I put on those jeans, they still zip up and they still fit, but I can still start to feel like, I better get back in my dancing. I haven't been that consistent, but yeah, it's just a check, it's who you are. Everybody feels that way, especially after a weekend, I mean, geez.
Exactly. So just to recap, what do you think, Hillary, are your 3 top tips for somebody who is wanting to develop their brand and not care what anybody else thinks?
Well, the top is going to be who you are 100% on fire. Be who you are. Share your life. Share your on live video. Share your kids. Share what your day is about. Share the thoughts on your mind. Share your funny side. Share your dorky side. Whatever it is, that's who you are. And not letting people judge you. Worry about people judging you. I think that's number 2. That's a big one, is stop worrying about what other people think about you, because that's what's stopping you from being great. And those people don't pay your bills. Just like Charity said, they're not paying my bills, so block, Facebook, unfollow. The people, there's billions of other people on social media, and a good percentage of them you're going to be able to find who you are, and you're going to be much happier from it. Number 3, I would say, just go all in. Go all in, and really, work on your brand of who you are. And the more you can hone that in of who you are through your pictures, through, if you're doing, a business, if you're, doing this business with us, it's making your own pictures. Stop sharing other people's stuff. Take a picture that's yours with your face and put your quotes on it. those kinds of things, to be you. What's going to make you stand out and people recognize you? They want people to recognize you. So I think that's a good start. And I think Charity and I were talking about working on, some more business tips for you guys as well. So that's my top 3.
I love all of those. And yeah, I'll second everything that you said. And really just being true to who you are is really going to be what is going to set you apart from everybody else. Not caring what anybody else thinks. It looks like you have a point to make, or you just.
No, I was going to say, if you want to be Wonder Woman, be Wonder Woman. If you want to be like Beyonce, be like Beyonce. And not saying be like somebody else, but if that's who you enjoy and what you relate to, don't be afraid to do that. Don't be afraid to rock it loud and be proud. I think that's a quote or something. I might have said it back.
I love that. Rock it loud and be proud. Yeah, and I think really like looking at people who you admire and respect, take pieces of that. Don't feel like, oh my gosh, I want to be Hillary Plauche. She's so amazing. And, like copying everything that she does or I do or anybody else that you admire. Take pieces of that and really think about like what makes you want to follow them and attracts you, and just put your own twist on it, because really you are your own brand, and people are either going to follow you or they're not, and it really doesn't matter, because you are still going to be working your business, showing up every day, sharing your story, and just being real and authentic with every person every day. And that is really what is going to build your brand, is sharing who you are.
Be authentic. I love that. And,
yes.
And like, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid at all, because it's actually what will set you free, and it will make your business grow, and you will be so much happier because you will have found your tribe. And that inspires me. Having friends like Charity, who I do this with, I can get on a call with her for 10 minutes and be inspired to do 10 things that day, 10 new ideas. And so it's always evolving, because you're surrounding yourself with people with the same goals, the same ambitions, good things, positive things, and, not with the people who are like, oh, this day is awful, and, my life sucks, and no, you're not going to grow from that. It's so obvious, so don't compare yourself to people. Don't worry about people judging you, because you know what? Darren Hardy said this to me once. If they're not going to show up at your funeral, then they don't matter,
Exactly. And
especially when it's raining.
Exactly. Nobody's going to show up at your funeral, especially if it's raining. You want those people who are going to show up for you, no matter thick or thin. And that is why I really love what we get to do, is we have a community of people who are just like us, and, willing to share their secrets of success and what's worked for them, what's not worked for them over the years. And, we all help each other and uplift each other. And I'm just going to be unplugged here for a minute. I loved when we got on the phone this morning, Hillary, and you were sharing yesterday. How were you feeling yesterday? Because we're perfect, okay, guys?
Yeah, yesterday for me, was a day, and I didn't realize it until then, but I was getting my period, and every once in a while, it really knocks me down. And I don't know if it's age or whatever it is, but it's like my hips ache, and I just have no motivation, and I want to just be lazy. And, it's okay to do that sometimes, because I do work hard. But when it comes to doing that every single day, I would have to shoot myself in the foot. I wasn't wallowing. Yeah, I called my friend, and she's like, okay, well, that's good. Feel better. And we're getting to work tomorrow. That's how it goes. And that's what your friends do, and go, oh yeah, I hate those days, and we all have them, and it's okay to feel that. But it's bringing yourself out of those days, that's a day. I've got to deal with it. It's physical. And yeah, so I needed to put my feet up, right?
Yeah, well, and I think that's really important point, is that, when you're in business for yourself, you don't have somebody saying, you need to clock in, you need to take a lunch, you need a break. You need to just do that for yourself, because we aren't going to be able to show up for our lives, for our business, for our kids if we're not taking care of ourselves and, admitting. I mean, I didn't even tell you this yesterday, but I was having one of those days, like super anxious because I have this thing coming up on Thursday and court and like, dealing with attorneys. It's like really stressful. And the difference between a girl boss and anybody else is that we'll take those days, we'll feel whatever we're feeling, and we'll get over it. We don't let it continue to the next day of the week.
Yeah, we don't wallow, I mean, when there's something like that looming and you get anxiety and, we all have those days, and I know more people have them than want to admit because they feel like they're showing weakness. And I don't think my anxiety is weakness. I think it's just my body's way of, fighting the uncomfortable things. And yes, I worry about them, and that's part of who I am, but I've realized, how to manage it and to still be able to get up out of bed, where a lot of people would just dig their head in the sand and say, I'm going to hide. I'm going to hide from it all. I'm just not going to do anything for a month, and just wallow in it and not change anything and watch it get worse,
Yeah, exactly. And that's really important for anybody who is going through something in their life, is that if you want to be successful in your business, you can't be starting and stopping and starting and stopping. You got to take that time to recover, take a day off, relax, maybe, get a massage or do whatever it is that you need to do to take care of
something for you. Yeah.
But don't let it go on to a day, 2 days, a month, 2 months, because just like our workouts, our business, it's harder to get back if you take time off and you try to restart. It's way harder than just, taking a little break and getting back to it.
Yep, it is. It's consistency, obviously. And we've created, we don't necessarily have like a, 9 to 5 schedule, but that's the freedom that we've created by being our own bosses. We do, the thing is that Charity and I are very much alike. But the best part of this business that we do as Beachbody coaches is that we all do the same things, but we all do it according to who we are, which is our brand and what works for us. And that is like such a freeing thing. We have so much freedom to, if I'm not feeling well, I can take that day, I can take that day off. And just like your workouts, you take a break, you take a rest, and, you need a day to recover.
Exactly.
Okay. I think we should we were going to talk about what we're going to share later today.
Oh, yeah. We are so excited. Hillary and I have both put together some awesome options for you guys. Little tips. I have 7 steps to at-home success. That's the name of my PDF that I'm going to be posting a little bit later today. So you'll look for my page. I'll post it under this video too. And Hillary, I can't remember the name of yours, but it's so awesome.
It's a little long, but it is something I put together last week, which, we've really been talking about the boss bitch mindset. So I thought I would put together top 10 tips for the aspiring girl boss or boss bitch, mantras that you need to see daily. And they're really honestly just a compilation of some of my favorite quotes and mindsets that I remind myself of all the time when I'm feeling, not so girl bossy when I wake up. So, but it keeps me in there. It reminds me of those things to do. And so I'm going to share that too, and I'll post it under this video, and it'll be posted on my page as well. And you just need to, opt into our newsletter, and you get that for free, and all the other stuff, because we were brainstorming some more things to share with you guys, as well as some upcoming giveaways on our weekly. And next week we will be on Monday. And the coolest thing about being who we are, girl boss, is that if Monday doesn't work, we can always come on Tuesday. But it will always be at 1 o'clock, and it will always be on Mondays unless we, for some reason tell you we're moms, stuff comes up, and that's what we do.
Exactly. And if you guys have any thoughts or questions or ideas for us, what you'd want to hear, please take the time to comment below this video, share our video and our live streams in the future with your friends, with your family, with your teams, anybody you think that would benefit from it, hearing from us or joining our team, because really we are on a mission to find other women who want to own their life, step up their game, raise the bar, and create a lifestyle for ourselves. Because the girl boss lifestyle isn't just reserved for the special people. It's reserved for people who want to make a change and won't give excuses and not give up. So
yeah, you want to live a better, authentic life. You want to live life by your choosing. I don't want to answer to somebody else's, job and make them rich. That was the reason, that was one of my motivating factors for getting started is, if I'm going to put time and effort into something, I want to put it into myself and I want to put it into my family and accomplishing those things. And in 7 years, if I was working back, I used to work in a restaurant. If I was still managing a restaurant, I would be still making the same amount of money. I would be still in the same place for 7 years, hating going to work and working 24/7 in a restaurant. And instead, 7 years later, if I decide to wake up on Monday and I'm not feeling too well, I want to go back to bed, I can do that, or I can work like a banshee for 2 weeks, take a little time off, go on a trip, but I still have my phone and I can still always check in with my business. And that's a pretty sweet thing about what we do also. So
yeah. Sometimes I forget how amazingly blessed that I am that I am able to be full-time home with my daughter. As many of you know, I got married just 2 months ago, but my husband's still living on the other side of the state, due to all this craziness I'm dealing with. But I'm able to be there 100%, pick my daughter up from school every day, volunteer in her class, go on every field trip, take a day off whenever I want, and still get paid every Thursday. I love it.
Yeah, I mean, who wouldn't want to do this? I say this all the time. Like, if you're watching this and you still have a question whether, you need to change your life or you want to change your life or you're just afraid to do the work, it's time. Suck it up. Put your big girl pants on. We say this every week and do something for you that will change your life. And it can be done and you can do it. And anybody can do it. You just have to want to do it and make yourself do it. Yeah.
Exactly. And it really takes owning it, not just giving lame ass excuses, but really stepping up to the plate, showing up, being bold, and going after what you want night and day, no matter what. And that is why most people fail, is they don't have the passion, they don't have the patience, and they just give up because somebody said they couldn't, or somebody said no, or they didn't like them.
Yeah, they get lazy. They get lazy. Patience and ambition equals success. And you will never have anything you want in life unless you do that, unless you have patience and the ambition to get there, because it doesn't happen overnight, you guys. Losing 70 pounds does not happen overnight. Growing a, 6-figure business or more does not happen for anybody overnight, and the people that win the lottery, they're usually broke in a year. So think about those things. You want to dream about winning the lottery and going to the gas station every day and hoping somebody else is going to change your life? Or do you want to not waste any time and change your life? That's what we do. We are life-changing coaches. We will help you. And like Charity said, share this with women on your page. Please share this with them. We welcome you to share. And if you have comments or questions, you can comment below or private message either one of us anytime. And so this was a fun episode. And I think next week we have a guest. So that'll be super fun. We have another girl boss to feature. And, I look forward to these every day with you, every week with you, Charity. And so it's good. I'm time to go about my day, and I'm going to get those top 10 tips up as soon as I'm done here and post those for you guys. And so I'm out.
Yes, and stay tuned. This is us being accountable. Next week, we're going to have another free opt-in for you. It's going to be either our top 10 favorite books that changed our life and our mindset, or our favorite apps. So if you guys want to take a vote, tell us below this video which one you want to hear next, and we will get that up for you next week.
All right. Well, it was good chatting with you, Charity. I love you as always, and have a wonderful day. And thanks for being a girl boss.
Thanks. You too. Love you.
Love you.